welcome back to the Grow Your B2B SaaS podcast. Today I'm joined by Krzysztof, Szyszkiewicz, also known as Chris, co-founder of ValueShips, a consultancy specializing in SaaS pricing, monetization, and revenue expansion. In this episode, we'll dive into the future of SaaS pricing in 2026, including the rise of hybrid pricing models, AI-driven cost structures, output-based pricing, and advanced strategies to increase your NRR. Chris explains how to structure tiers, usage metrics, AI add-ons, and value-based pricing in a way that aligns with willingness to pay, but also expansion revenue. We will cover how often SaaS companies should update pricing, how to run pricing experiments the right way, and why freemium models are shifting, and the most common mistakes founders make when pricing a product in 2026. So there's a lot in there. So let's go to Amsterdam, as this episode is also recorded live at the SaaS Summit in Benelux. Welcome to the Grow Your B2B SaaS podcast.
Hello.
Could you quickly introduce yourself? Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Krzysztof Szyszkiewicz, but I go by Chris. I'm co-founder of ValueShips. We're a boutique pricing consultancy working mostly with technology sector. Most of our clients are products and right now SaaS plus AI.
Nice. Well, we're going to talk a lot about SaaS and AI and pricing. So first question, how do you see SaaS pricing evolving in 2026?
So a couple of things at first, right? So of course there are many discussions about, output-based and success-based models. I think we will see that even more and more companies implementing that, but also with competition becoming more and more fierce, I think that more and more companies, and I'm saying more and more for the fifth time, but nevertheless, I think more and more companies will focus also on expansion revenue. So they will think how to package their product in a way that it supports expansion revenue use case, which means that you really need to have good tiers, you need to have good limits, yada, yada, yada. And because I see NRR being more and more important for the companies, and of course, pricing needs to support NRR growth, right? So I don't want to go into trivia. Yes, success will be there. Yes, output will be there. Yes, we will see first big success with output or next success with output and success with output and end success-based price, of course, but beyond the trivia, I think that the real growth will come from expansion revenue in 2026. Yeah, and then expansion, any kind of pricing or any kind of expansion. So not just, output-based, but it could be anything. So when you think about this, in order to support the expansion revenue use case, you need to have two things. So the first thing is horizontal scaling, which is scaling through the core value metrics, right? So no matter if it's usage-based pricing, it's normal-based pricing, you need to somehow scale with your core value metric. Of course, the closer you are to the success of your customer, the more tangible is the value, the more you contribute to the value, the easier it is for the expansion revenues. Imagine that you are, an intent software, right? If you're providing good value, if you're uncovering the intents, if you're supporting the sales of your customers, of course, naturally, they want to buy more and more intents for you. So it makes a lot of sense to have an output intent-based model, crystal clear. So horizontal scaling is scaling through value metric. The other thing that it has been in SaaS for quite a while is also vertical scaling. So vertical scaling is scaling by the functionalities. The more advanced is the software, the more you pay. This is clear, right? More features, good, better, best, yada, 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 right? But I think that since competition is getting more fierce, you need to put a bit more research into differentiating through the advancement of your software. In order to differentiate, you need to understand the preference and the willingness to pay. So just to make it crystal clear, if you have features that are highly preferred and there is willingness to pay behind this, they should separate your pricing tiers, right? So of course, it has been here for a while, but I think most of the companies were structuring their plans by the gut feeling. Right now, we need to professionalize a bit.
Yeah. And then when you professionalize a bit, you mean figuring out where is the willingness to pay for a certain feature, but is it also, professionalize as in making it a bit more hybrid, putting a usage-based component to it or a value-based component to it?
Yes, that's for sure. Definitely what I don't recommend and I don't think it works very well is just to change your pricing model 180 degrees, right? So you are classic user-based and nothing usage, zero add-ons, and now you want to be on the hype train of AI, we're going to do success-based. On top of it, there will be a usage and the platform will be modular, right? So only a platform, 100 add-ons. most likely you might be successful. There is low chance that you will be successful with that, right? So I think that, when you develop your pricing model, you should do step by step. So you mentioned usage, right? So what I think is that we'll see more and more companies adding an AI add-on and then trying to experiment with that. So pricing should be a process. If you want to test the waters, if usage-based pricing is for you and you are working on your cool new AI feature, what you can do? Hey, let's add it as an add-on and let's try to monetize it with usage, right? Crystal clear, see, test the waters, understand if there is a use case for you, if the adoption is high. If the adoption is high, you see, 15, 20% of your clients using this software, then you might think if you should change the whole monetization model more towards the usage-based pricing, for example.
Yeah. And I'm curious, with AI native companies coming more and more, right? And especially in 2026, AI has a lot more cost, I guess, to run a SaaS company. Like, do you foresee that freemium will change or will be different, or?
So here is the thing, right? So I think that, first of all, when you think about usage, for AI native companies, if they are using output-based pricing with the usage component, like usage is a new churn, right? So if companies are actually not using your software, they're not active in your software, you are not getting paid. Problem, right? That is the first challenge that I see. The second one, when it comes to the freemium, then you might think that, if you're a success-based, this is already freemium with a commission-based component, right? So, this is one nature of the freemium. What we can see in the freemium is definitely, and this is like very old concept, that freemium is deteriorating your perceived value. What does it mean? That if you have a freemium, on average, you will be cheaper than your competition who doesn't have freemium. We have tons of benchmarks supporting this use case. So this is a bit bittersweet. I think that there will be companies who will experiment more with freemium, but to be very honest, I'm not sure if it's going to change much in 2026. Yeah. I think usage and, being freemium via success-based, this will be kind of a new freemium.
Yeah, because it is a good way to get new users in and then actually get them to the value you want them.
It's a commission-based model, right? Think about, and we're in products, we're in SaaS, this is a great conference where we're talking about success, blah, 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 stuff like this. And we think success-based, such a new, great model, how innovative it is. I'm like, hey guys, have you seen Booking.com? This company has been around for couple of years already, and they are success-based, right? This is a commission model. So if you think about this, you can subscribe as a hotel to Booking.com, and they are only charging you when the conversion happens on the Booking.com, purely a success-based model. So I think that, product ecosystem has a lot to catch up with from marketplaces where they can learn from when it comes to success commissions, but this will be exciting for sure.
I don't think I have to ask, should you change pricing or how often should you change pricing? Because you're going to say you have to change pricing probably a lot.
No, but here's the thing. It's, 2-3 years ago, most likely I would have said, just think about this once a year. But right now, with the speed of development, new features, with the competition getting more and more exciting, so to say, I think that the time now is to treat pricing as a process, right? So you should think, no matter what product decision you are taking, no matter what people decision you are taking, always take into consideration pricing plans. We are adding a bit of value. Does it require to change pricing, adjust pricing? Is there a monetization use case in that, right? So I think that as we are treating marketing, sales as a process, right now is the time to treat pricing as a process and actually constantly work on it. It doesn't require always a change. Not acting is always a decision that you can take. But I think now it's a time, pricing as a process. Let's make this, hashtag popular.
Are you already running an affiliate or referral program, but it's not really driving growth? Reditus is the affiliate and referral platform built exclusively for B2B SaaS. Combining an in-app referral program, an affiliate network of over 20,000 SaaS affiliates, and AI-powered recruitment that finds new relevant affiliates for you. Migrate for free with our white glove service. Affiliates can keep their link, and you can start managing both programs from one single place. With tracking, payouts, and fraud detection all handled for you, you can start building a scalable growth channel that compounds without high upfront cost. Want to learn more? Check out getreditus.com. .com. Well, pricing is a process. It's almost like running pricing experiments. Like you're changing something, running experiment. Does it actually work? Like how would you test it? Because probably you're not going to test it on the entire user base, right?
Mm-hmm. So definitely a couple of things, right? So first we need to separate like the new users and existing users, right? So if you're present in the couple of markets, you're a big SaaS solution with tons of hundreds of thousands of views on your website, you might think of A/B testing, different plans, price tags, not really, but different plans, different packaging, free plans versus 4 plans, how does it work, blah, 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 stuff like this. But this is only reserved from the biggest companies that can have that can make their A/B test statistically significant. If you're a bit smaller company, I would say the first thing that you need to do when it comes to pricing tests, current users, do a simple matrix, right? So think in terms of a revenue concentration. On one axis, you need to have the percentage of revenue. On the other axis, you should have percentage of clients, right? So you typically see that 20% of your clients, depending on the use case, are responsible for 60, 80% of your revenue, give or take, right? But then you have this 10, 20% of the companies who are only responsible for 1% of the revenue. This is your maybe we shouldn't call it a playground, but this is your testing ground. So if you want to test the waters, see something, how does it influence your revenue, stuff like this, this is where you can experiment a bit. Number one. Number two, if you think about experimentation, also think what is your break-even point in terms of a churn, right? So you have a bit of a risk in testing. You want to introduce something, you don't know if it works, if it doesn't work. So see what churn you can actually afford if the test fails, because some of the tests will fail. That's fine. If they prove or disprove the hypothesis, should push your business forward. Nevertheless, you should also be aware of the risks.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Like you're definitely going to have some churn, I guess, with some experiments you're going to run. But in the end, if the revenue you get extra from it is actually positive, then it's not a bad experiment. It's not a bad thing to do. Probably they won't be the best clients to have anyway.
Break-even point, right? This is the break-even point when you think about this. So frequently, before we are launching a pricing experiment or pricing uplift for our clients, we see that, we are increasing the prices by 10, 20, 30% whatsoever. So the first things that we are seeing how much churn we can afford to break even. And sometimes 20, 30%. Can you imagine that 20% of your clients are leaving because you increase prices by 20%? If yes, most likely pricing is not your problem, right? So, yeah, that's but of course, I don't want to generalize. If you're more in the commoditized business, it's a bit more tricky. If you're more on the innovation side, it shouldn't be that tricky. Nitty-gritty details, but in general, taking or understanding your break-even point is a very, very important thing in pricing.
Yeah, and I think these are probably already some common mistakes, or I guess traps to avoid. But what do you typically see happening, like mistakes happening right now within pricing, within SaaS companies?
So there are a couple, right? So there are 2 mistakes that I will mention that has been here for a while. So first one, discounting, grandfathering, right? So if you're changing the prices, always take the decision if you should do that for currently existing clients. Number 1, grandfathering. Number 2, discounting, right? Understand how many of your customers you are charging below your current list price. In case this is 10% of revenue leaking, try to seal them, try to bring them back to the current plan. They are your happy users, frequently ambassadors. That shouldn't be that hard. So if you're not doing that, not monitoring it, actually it's a mistake, right? If you are facing some challenges, not a priority, not acting on that, it's not a mistake, but not reviewing it is a mistake. Second one that I see, no matter how big is your company, is actually being too furious when it comes to changing the pricing model. I mentioned this already, right? So we are in the tornado now with AI, that's for sure, especially in pricing. So I see many companies who just want to be on the hype train and they want to change their monetization method fully from day one to the other. Not typically it takes, or you should do it step by step. Number 2. And number 3, credits. So credits, amazing model. You can have great success, play, stuff like that. The amazing things with credits. But if you're a point solution and if you're just solving one use case and then you just randomly have credits, which means that you basically exchange $1 to credits and then this one credit to one thing that you're buying. This is just an intermediary step that could have been neglected. So being too hyped with credits, if you're you can be great doing amazing things, but we're just a point solution solving one thing, most likely credits is not the thing that should work for you. If you're more complex, that's for sure it can work.
And I mean, we're working on it ourselves right now. Like, credits is also a way to make sure that people don't misbehave AI, right? Because there's a lot of cost related to it. So often you put credits in place just to make sure that you're not having a higher cost than actually income.
Anti-fraud, right? Not anti-fraud, but actually, negative margin. There are some, credits can be one most likely leverage solution that you can use. Amazing. There are a couple of others, right? So there is something like that is called fair trade usage policy. So I'm not sure if you know, but if you have unlimited data plan in your phone, or if you have unlimited calling plan in your phone, my friend, this is not unlimited, right? So when you think about this, there is a limit in terms and conditions. Those things are called fair trade usage policies. And again, those things has been in the market for quite a while. We, as a SaaS ecosystem, we need to catch up a bit and introduce fair trade usage policy into our contract. So if you're thinking about having unlimited AI plan in your solution, if for some reason this is the best use case for you, great, make yourself a favor and make sure that you have a fair trade policy behind that in your contract. And then what does it mean? Time when you are receiving a negative margin from this like AI, most likely this is the block time, right? So you before your customers are reaching 10-20% of the thresholds, there should be a pop-up saying, hey, look, this is the situation, fair trade usage policy. That's it, right? So credits, one option, the fair trade usage policy, other option. There is a third one as well. So the third one is a true ups, right? So if you see that month to month companies are using too much, you can true them up. Your taxes are working, how your energy prices are working, right? You predefine some usage on the electricity, and then government or like electricity company true you up every year or every month. We can do the same.
Interesting. We're going to dive into the final two questions, which are more revenue related questions. What kind of advice would you give a SaaS founder who's just starting out and growing to 10K monthly recurring revenue right now?
It's pretty simple, differentiate, right? So at the very beginning, I think that your one and only goal with pricing, it needs to be okay pricing, but it shouldn't be that hard. But I think you should make yourself a favor and learn as much as possible, which means that if you have all-in-one solution and only one price for one plan, after a year you are just in the same spot where you've started, right? With regards to pricing related knowledge. I would say that if you're starting, think how you can differentiate your solution, how to make it at least good better, how to respond to the use case, ICPs that you are targeting, and try to think, one price that is X, the other price is 120% X. After a year, you will see which plan your customers are choosing, why they are choosing this plan. Maybe if they're 95% of your customers are choosing the most expensive plan, maybe you're too cheap. If 95% of your customers are using the cheapest plan, maybe you are giving too much value in this cheapest plan. So I would say that if your solution is rich enough, or in most of the cases the solutions are rich enough, would be to differentiate and experiment a bit. Treat pricing as a process.
Nice. And let's assume now we passed 10K MR. We're going to make a huge step towards 10 million ARR. So for people who are on that journey from 10K to 10 million, what kind of advice would you give here?
So I would guess there are three things, right? So first of all, if you want immediate impact, look at your discounting policies and grandfathering policies. This is the easiest revenue to unlock. If you're leaking more than 10% of your revenue, kill it, act on it, number one. Number two, look into your expansion revenue toolkit, right? So how you can actually expand your clients. Do you have pricing plans differentiated enough? Do you have add-ons in place? Do you have some usage component in your solution? So, look what your toolkit, your CSM has in order to allow for the expansion. Third one, if you decided to take your price tag / packaging by gut feeling, by competition a bit, by cost, stuff like this. At 10 million ARR, it's worth to invest a bit in the research, especially primary research, to understand if you are not underpricing. Because from my experience, 95% of our projects, we increase the average price for our customers. If it's gut feeling plus competition plus cost, there's 95% of the chance that you are too cheap.
I think that's a great ending.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me and, did my best.
Perfect. If people want to get in contact with you, Chris, how can they do so?
So LinkedIn, Krzysztof Szyszkiewicz, so just looked for ValueShips and there will be this guy with like a very strange name and surname. That's me, right? And with a mustache on the phone.
Nice. We'll add the link so people can just click it.
Yeah, that's easier, right?
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching this show of the Grow Your B2B SaaS podcast. You made it till the end, so I think we can assume you like this content. If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you like this content, feel free to reach out if you want to sponsor the show. If you have a specific guest in mind, if you have a specific topic you want us to cover, reach out to me on LinkedIn. More than happy to take a look at it. If you want to know more about Reditus, feel free to reach out as well. But for now, have a great day and good luck growing your B2B SaaS.